Yo, what is up guys? We are back with another video. I am sorry I've not uploaded for a week. Okay, I have been slacking, I admit that one. But I have to admit, okay, my throat is fucked, alright? And I keep going clubbing, so I need to stop going clubbing and save my money, alright? That's what I'm going to be doing from now on. And I'm going to be focusing more on making better videos for you guys, so you guys can actually learn from my channel and everything like that. And yeah, so we're going to be doing a pretty much 5 ways to stop dying and 5 ways to just improve your gameplay and just become a better player, you feel me? Help your game set, your mindset, everything like that improve. So tip number 1, okay, is looting too much, right? Players tend to loot too much, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been a part of this, okay? Like after I kill like a squad or something and I see like 2 gold crates, I will spend about a minute looting because I'm still like when I see a lot of loot, I get so confused at what I should keep and what I should take. Like if I see a wingman or a Spitfire, I'm like, you know, sometimes I'm doing good in the wingman, or sometimes my tracking on the Spitfire is pretty decent. So you know, it all just depends, right? But like, don't spend too much time looting, because then this causes you to end up getting third-partied, and then it's pretty bad for you as well, because normally when you end fights, it tends to get out of position. So like the end fight compared to where it started is like in a completely awkward position, okay? But if you are going to be looting after that, make sure you take your time when looting, so you don't just waste time by doing a lot of unnecessary things. And try taking turns, so like somebody's on watch out when you're looting, so that not everyone's just focused on looting, so that you actually don't get third-partied as easy as it would be. And only loot what you need to loot, so like don't carry unnecessary shit, alright? So like if you think you're gonna find a gun later, don't risk it if that means you're gonna have to spend a lot of time looting to try and like sort out what you're gonna need to carry later. However, if you are good at looting and you're in the middle of a fight, this is not related to this, but it kind of is. But if you can see that like a crate is purple or something like that, and you know that they have the armor in there or some shit, and like your armor gets taken off you, you could maybe quickly switch it out, because you're obviously used to looting, and then it refills your armor without having to actually use shield pots. So that's sometimes when you can use looting in the middle of fights. But yeah, just main thing to take away from this is don't loot too much after you finish the fight, or don't spend too much time on it. Tip number 2, okay, is losing too many gunfights, alright? If you have noticed that your gunfights are your weakness, I've noticed that sometimes the first thing you need to do is Alt F4, okay, and just evaluate your life, alright? Now I'm playing. But like what you need to do is understand what part of the gunfight you're actually losing, and is it your aim, your positioning, your recoil? You need to figure that out, and once you figure that out, you have to actively practice it, alright? Because it's not just going to fix by playing, you know? I know a lot of people say, just play the game, just play the game. That's just the dumbest shit I've heard. Okay, if you're bad at positioning, work on positioning. If you're bad at recoil, work on recoil. You know, if you're bad at aim, go into the training, you know, work on your aim. Literally, that's all you can do, alright? But with the recoil one, again, if you're bad at recoil, go into the aim training and find the gun that you're bad at and just practice the recoil. There's literally nothing else to say about that, alright? Just recoil, spray that specific gun until your bedtime, okay? Because trust me, it will help. Alright, it's helped me with countless games, the AK-47 in CSGO, the R306 or whatever it's called, the carbine, you know what I'm talking about. That gun is a beauty. I've said it before, I'll say it again, okay? But yeah, that's that one. Tip number 3. This tip is probably one of the biggest tips the player needs to understand, alright? No matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, no matter if you're the best aimer, the worst aimer, you need to know when to run away, okay? This doesn't mean you're a bad player if you run away, nor it doesn't mean you're going to lose the fight, okay? If you're running away, it kind of shows that you understand that you need to back off to give yourself an advantage, or to give yourself some space against your enemy. There's been a lot of times where I was in a fight and I backed off, healed up, and somehow ended up winning a fight, right? So like I could have been on 1 HP, he was on like 20, and I backed off behind the rock and he rushed me and I pumped him, you know what I'm saying? But like, you just need to understand how to play smart and not just rely on your aim, okay? Because sometimes I rely on that aim because, you know, I got a new Shroud mousepad, shout out to Shroud, but it doesn't work out all the time, you know. Sometimes it works out, but you can't build bad habits, because in the future it's just going to mess everything up, because you're going to be so used to that bad habit that when you verse good players, they're gonna fucking melt you like I do with fucking chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Just don't do it. So you kind of have to understand your situation and how the final outcome's gonna be before the final outcome occurs, okay? So think about like, oh shit, if I stay here, what's the worst thing that can happen? If it's safe, like, you know, no matter what, you're gonna win that fight, or no matter what happens, it's gonna be a good outcome, then it's fine. But if there's still a possibility that it's not, then just pussy out for a bit, trust me. Tip number 4. This is probably one of the most RNG tips I've given you guys ever, okay? and this is probably going to be the first and last time, okay? But this is a tip that you genuinely need to understand, and you kind of need to have in the back of your brain while you're playing this game or any other battle royale, is use the best guns for the current situation, okay? Now, when you first land, that's all about RNG, and that's when you find like whatever weapon the game gives you. You can't really like win early game off just pure guns. You kind of need to like have a bit of luck on your side. And after you get past that part and you have a nice set of guns and you understand that like you can't expect to beat someone with a G7 Scout in Skull Town compared to someone with a Spitfire, because the location's kind of like pretty close range. So like when you have a close range weapon, it kind of suits your boot or floats your boat a lot more easier than the fucking G7 Scout, you feel me? But like mid game, when it's like longer range, G7 Scout will be perfect, better than the close range weapons, you know? So kind of adapt your gun loadouts and stuff according to like the situation you're in, or like the place you landed, because then that's going to help you win a lot more games. So if you're in a close range place, try and adapt to the close range weapons like the Peacekeeper, the EVA 8, or the SMGs. Don't go for the snipers or like the long range weapons, you know? Tip number 5. This is by far a tip that requires you to understand the game a lot more than others, alright? And this is positioning, okay? You could be Shroud, you could be Dizzy, you could be Ninja, or you could be Cairo, okay? Some of the best aimers out there. But the moment your positioning is bad, your aim doesn't matter nearly as much as it does in a 50-50 gunfight. Because if you're positioned in the middle of nowhere, for example, like in just the middle of like, I don't know, just the desert, okay? And you're trying to take on a squad that are holding a compound, for example, I don't know, market or something, right, with the high ground and everything. The chances of you winning the fight drop from being a safe 50-50 fight to something a lot higher in their advantage. So like for a lot of normal reasons, like they have natural cover, they have better angles, and they can work on which position they can shoot you at, while you're literally just in the open with nothing, okay? So work on your positioning all the time, and you can work on it by doing simple things like when you're fighting someone, say to yourself like, am I positioned good? You know, do they have high ground? You know, could I position better? You know, what happens if I stay here for too long? You know, and when you do that, you should start seeing improvements instantly, pretty much, because your position kind of changes every game, and that's what kind of gives you the advantage in certain situations. But yeah, that should be something you're always doing, no matter what game you're playing, FPS wise, or whatever other game requires it that much. No matter, you know, how good you are, how bad you are, just make sure you constantly think about your positioning, okay? So I just want to thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. If you did, just comment a love heart down below, you know, just show the love for me. I love you guys too. And yeah, I love all the support recently. I'm going to be uploading again properly. I'm actually going to like sweat YouTube videos for a bit longer. Not a bit longer, keep doing it, you know, consistency is key. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helped you guys. If you guys want any other videos, comment down below some of your video ideas. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.